before I get
Puppy
on.
will let me.
And hopefully should be your next Secretary of State.
I had a hard time trying to decide whether to run for Secretary of State because the first thing was I qualified? I mean, I've never run for office before, except as a member of the County Council of the Green Party. And but then I thought, maybe Whitman hadn't either run for office.
Wait.
Okay, way over here. So, Meg Whitman hadn't run either. So I said, okay, that's okay. I have a lot of experience. I'm a grassroots activist. I've been a civil rights lawyer. I fight for disability rights. I have a lot of experience. I could do the job. But then I remembered there was two things I lacked, and this got me really worried. Two key qualifications. One was I was not a billionaire. And two, I did not have even any support of any billionaires.
Details.
So why did I decide to do it? Well, actually, it's really broken my heart to watch the slow starving of the public sector in our state and local communities. Especially in my work in disability rights. I have seen every year more and more cuts to basic social services, education, health care, and each year that budget there's more and more devastating cuts that really harm seniors, people with disabilities, low-income families. It's really heartbreaking. And more people are being forced into more desperate poverty, homelessness, and hunger. And our children are being robbed of a future because the schools are being... And he'll testify to that. My nephew Cody will testify that the schools don't have the money they need to do a good job with educating our kids. The universities are that used to be our pride and joy in California, #1 university in the whole country, and now it's sinking fast. Yet each year, more and more tax loopholes are being approved by our legislators. While they were cutting social services, in-home supportive services, medical care, Medi-Cal, SSI last year, they actually gave more tax breaks to the rich. I mean, it's shocking, but at the same time, they did that. And it's also shocking to know that wealthy people actually pay, in California, a smaller percentage of their income toward taxes than low-income people. It's shocking, but it's true, and if you want to check it out, just look at the California Budget Project website.
How much less, do you know?
I don't have all the statistics, but there's a chart, and you'll see a sliding scale there. The richer you are, the less you pay. So it's really shocking. And it's also big business that has benefited the most from Proposition 13. For example, Chase Bank recently took over, what's the name of the bank? Washington Mutual. Took over Washington Mutual, and they did not get reassessed. So they're paying the way lower per square footage rate for taxes than the places were. So this is what we're dealing with. So what does that have to do with why I'm running? First of all, I want to ask one question. Where did all this wealth go? I mean, this is a rich state. Where's all this wealth gone? Basically, you could imagine a big sucking machine that's sucking all the money and wealth up into the people who have the most of it. That is what's been happening. And over a period of like 20, 30 years, that's really what's been going on. And the Democrats and Republicans have unfortunately been, both parties, complicit in this robbery, and that's what it is, and seem incapable of fixing the system, or even the tax system, or even really resolving the budget problem. So again, what does this all have to do with running for Secretary of State? Well, the job of Secretary of State involves the elections and also corporations. Now, the heart of the problem is the two-party winner-take-all, can you hear me? Two-party winner-take-all election system, which is broken and rotten to its core. It's dominated by the power of corporate campaign donors and corporate lobbyists that these candidates depend on in order to win elections. And they prevent any real solutions from happening. They take it completely out of reach in Sacramento. So what do we need to do? We need to take the power of money out of politics and put the power of people into politics. We need clean, publicly funded elections.
That's right.
We need to end the duopoly of the Democrats and Republicans and allow non-corporate voices of ordinary people to be heard. We need reforms like instant runoff voting, which allows people to vote their conscience more easily, proportional representation, which allows a range of views to be represented in the legislature, and we need to crack down on the corporate criminals who have been coddled for too long. We need corporate accountability. That means that if corporations like BP or others, Enron or any of those others, if they are despoiling the environment, killing their workers, if they're really involved in criminal activity like that, defrauding consumers, they should not have a right to continue to do business. It should be a privilege and not a right to do business in the state. And so their charter should be revoked. Now, why am I running as a Green Party member? Everyone says the Green Party is small, poor, you don't stand a chance, and then, the worst thing, spoilers. Now, I gotta admit, we're small. I'm definitely poor. And I don't think I have a huge chance of winning this time. However, the system is already spoiled. The Democrats and Republicans cannot fix the problems that we face, and these are deep problems. The Green Party is the only national grassroots party that is anti-corporate, that supports economic and social justice, that supports peace, that supports the rights of immigrants, the rights of the LGBT community, and also supports of environmental sanity and wants to save the planet rather than let it just burn in oil. We are running a full slate of candidates this year, including the top of our ticket, Laura Wells, for governor. You can look at her website. She is focusing on the tax system in California as is fitting. So I'm urging people to support the Green Party. And as one of my heroes said, the late Howard Zinn is a historian. He taught us that ordinary people have the power to change society. So if we organize and if we stand up for what we believe in the ballot box, in the courts, and in the streets, we can create a just and livable society, and we can win.
All right. Hey.
Is there any questions?